Good day, everyone. The right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Many of you are familiar with this phrase, but do you happen to know where it came from or the actual full quote? It came from the Constitution of the United States of America in the form of the first 10 amendments known as the Bill of Rights. Specifically, it came from the second one, which states as follows: a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the free state, the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Gun control is a topic many of us are divided on, but as a former infantryman, I have seen firsthand the power and dangers these tools hold. Yes, these tools. What is a tool? A tool is a device or implement, especially one held in the hand, used to carry out a specific function. In this case, the function the gun would carry out would be protection, which many people don't seem to take into account when the topic of gun control comes up. I stand here before you to try and convince you that stricter gun laws are not the answer to a growing number of fatalities in the United States. In fact, it threatens the very freedoms this country was founded on. First, let us remember that gun ownership is a fundamental right enshrined by the Second Amendment. It is not just for hunting or sport, it is about protection. It ensures that every American has a way to protect not only themselves, but the people around them. Imagine you are in a situation where you cannot protect yourself just because the law says it's illegal to own the tool to do so. Not only is this immoral, but could put you in a situation that could potentially be life-threatening. Now, many people who advocate for stricter gun control believe that it will curb the amount of mass shootings that happen every year. While mass shootings are an unnecessary loss of innocent lives, it is not a sound argument for stricter gun laws. If we look at the details, many of these horrific events would not have been stopped by stricter gun laws. In fact, many of the mass shootings, the perpetrator managed to get a hold of the guns legally, despite the extensive background checks. The National Institute of Justice found of the known mass shooting cases, 32.5% of those cases cannot be confirmed, and 77% of those who engaged in mass shootings purchased at least one of their guns legally. This fact alone should make us question the effectiveness of stricter gun laws in preventing such tragedies. In many states and countries with strict gun laws, we still see incidents of mass violence. Why is that? Because simply, the laws don't deter the criminals from committing these violent acts. Let's take Chicago, for example. One of the cities with the strictest gun laws in America has, regrettably, one of the highest crime rates. Chicago police released the final crime number for 2020, which showed that shootings and murders jumped more than 50%. In 2020, there were 769 murders, considerably higher compared to the 495 murders tallied in 2019, as reported by the ABC News. We need to realize that focusing solely on guns as a problem was ignoring the root cause of violence, such as mental illness, social and economic factors, which also played a role in this violence. If we want to make a change, we need to address the issues that would lead an individual to pick up a gun in the first place. Studies show that poverty and lack of education lead to higher crime rates. The University of Michigan stated specifically, our results show that improving public schools can keep children on a path to increase school engagement and completion, thereby lowering the criminal propensity in adulthood. Targeting these social issues will do far more to reduce violence than limiting access to firearms ever could. And let's consider for a second that unintended effect stricter gun laws have on the communities. For example, look at rural communities with extended police response times. We may be taking away the only form of protection they have. We fail to realize gun control ignores the millions of law-abiding citizens who care about their safety and the ones around them. They're not the ones committing the crimes. In fact, quite the opposite. They deter potential criminals of committing violent acts. For example, crimesearch.org found that between 2014 and 2022, citizens stopped 104 out of the 204 potential or actual mass shootings where we could identify that the guns allowed in the area. So 51% of attacks were stopped by people legally carrying concealed handguns. So if gun control is not the answer, what is? It is not easy as just banning all weapons. I believe the only way to stop this violence is through a combination of many things, such as more funding in education, as we learned from the University of Michigan, more mental health resources to guarantee that individual gets the help they need, and enforcing our pre-existing gun laws. In conclusion, gun control is not the answer to an ever-increasing violence. Instead, it threatens our rights, fails to recognize true cause of crime, and leaves good guys in a vulnerable situation. Let's make the right choice and protect our freedom, focusing on actual solutions and addressing the root cause that drives violence in our society. Thank you so much for hearing me out.